Looks like we're back. Yes, we are back live. Apologies for this. Just gonna put another advertisement in the chat. Very sorry about this. There's just something going on with my capture equipment. So yeah, what we're gonna do, we've got just over 20 minutes remaining with Dark Racing 40 still in the lead, just stretching the lead out on Illogical Sports, whose tyres really have seen better times. Woody Liz is just holding third. Only a disconnect will stop Woody from finishing on the podium now. Slide Science has had a rotten last 20 minutes. He's been in the pits about 3 times in that period. Dado is hanging on to the lead. It's only 10 seconds between him and Cirrus. Cirrus continuing to close the gap. And this could very well be an entertaining finish in the GTE class. Matty Seeking, he's just he's about 15 seconds behind Cirrus. He's within range if one of the leaders stuff up, but at this stage it's looking like third place is looking more and more likely for Mr. Matty Seeking. Night Havoc fourth, just had a ho-hum race, just hasn't really had the speed of, just hasn't had the speed of the leaders. Metal Drive's just had a bad start, hasn't really got good. Dark Lord, he had such great speed at the start of the race and it just all came crumbling down once he made that first mistake. He just has not been able to recover. Commander Jim, his race has just been hell. The only saving grace is that he's beaten 2 cars, but only one of which did not even take to the start. Maverick disconnected about an hour ago, I think. And Wrapped Pigeon qualified, had the fastest time in qualifying, had a grid penalty that dropped him down to second, but he was unable to make the start. His internet just became so unstable, just could not get into the lobby, so he could not take to the start. The Commander Jim needs to let Cirrus by quite soon. Cirrus will be very frustrated if he is unable to get past Commander Cirrus. Commander Cirrus will be frustrated if he can't get past Commander Jim before the Porsche curve start. There's Cirrus flashing the lights, so Commander Jim pulls to the right hand side. And there we go, Cirrus ahead. But that was not an ideal entrance into the Porsche curves. There's still 10 seconds of gap to Dado. So Dado's odds on here to hang on. Dado would be an amazing victory for. Who became sick with the flu last night, is still feeling the effects of it. To struggle on, just keep doing consistent laps while everyone else around him just fell apart. It's been a pretty good drive from Dado one of the best of his career in this league. At the end of this, we'll try and get some interviews with the race winners. At this stage, it's looking like Dark Racing and Dado, both of which will be getting used to being interviewed. Very dominant the last couple of years, both drivers. Constantly up amongst the podium finishes and race wins. And championship wins as well in our regular championship series. But yeah, the gap just holding firm. Sirius is going by half a second a lap. But Sirius just needs to... He'll need to get himself into the 54s if he's going to be a chance at a race win. Which is not such a concern for Darky. He's just cruising along. Keeps stretching that lead. In fact, that was just the fastest lap of the race. Darky's just gone. 3:18.2. I believe that's the fastest lap of the race. No, Illogical Sports has the fastest lap of the race at 3:18.0. I'm curious to see if Darky can go even quicker. Pace has certainly dropped off this Le Mans versus the last couple of Le Mans. Let's go into the pits now. So this is his splash and dash. While Dark Racing 40 continues to motor on. See how he goes across the first sector split. He's up by half a tenth. Little Sports is rolling down pit lane. He'll have a shorter pit stop time compared to Darky, but I don't think that's going to mean much at this stage of the race. What is still up for debate is Dado and Sirius has now dropped under 10 seconds the margin. So now Metal Drive's is overtaking Night Havoc into that 4th position, and he's got fuel in hand, so it's actually turned into a solid recovery drive for Metal Drive. It was looking horrible for him early on, but just putting together the laps, and all of a sudden now Metal Drive is in that 4th place. Probably not going to finish higher than 4th. But you see he's just got a massive gap on Metal Drive. Now, just curious to see if Darky can continue to start stretching the time out. Nope. It's only just slower. He's going to be getting close to a pit stop. 7.4. That is touch and go as to whether he can do an extra lap or not. We'll probably see him in this lap, but I would not be surprised if he does another. Geez, that Toyota though is right on the edge. I can even see Darky changing front tyres at this stop. And there's only 14 minutes to go. And he continues on, Darky. So he's always got enough fuel to go one more, and he's gone faster again. Only slightly. So 6.4 litres is obviously enough fuel for Darky to go another lap. Let's check back in with Dado. That lead just seems to be staying stagnant, even though every time I look at the lap times for Cirrus, it seems to always be faster by around about that half a second. So I'm thinking the delta up ahead, the gap to Cirrus, is not 100% accurate, but Cirrus is running out of time. He needs to start reeling in Dado by a couple of seconds a lap. Cirrus needs to start doing 353s if he wants any hope of a race win here. And Cirrus will rue the fact that he's had so many moments at Tertre Rouge this race. And that will be the sole reason why, if Cirrus can't get over the top of Dado, that will be why Dado will be the class winner and not Commander Cirrus. Dado hasn't won since the 2020 edition of this race, where he partnered with Metal Drive, and they took this 48 Aston Martin to the top step of the podium. He stuck fat with this team, came up short last year, but back at it again. It looks like they've just been too strong. Too strong for last year's winner, the number 100 P51 Sim Sports BMW M6. Actually, I should check that it's the number 100 for Cirrus. It is. Always willing to check as I'm spewing facts that are could potentially be wrong. It's been 2 and a bit hours at this race. My brain is starting to be a bit fried. We've got 11 minutes to go in this race. Yeah, at the moment it's just stagnated a bit. Darky will be coming into the pits this lap. 2.6 litres remaining. Definitely not enough to go another time. Into the pits. Negotiate the chicane. And into the pits. It's a very small pit lane here. certainly one of the main reasons why F1 does not come here. Pit lane designed for motorbikes, not necessarily cars. Looks like Darky did indeed take front tyres. It's just being safety first. He's got the lead to be able to be a bit cautious. He's still a long way away. So 9:50. 9 minutes to go. And for a couple of these drivers, they're cutting a fine for joining the majors Le Mans 24 hour that starts at 11 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time. This has now become iRacing's biggest Le Mans 24 hour. They have 11 splits running. Logical Sports and Commander Cirrus, they are teaming up together in a car. They'll be looking for a class win. They're driving GT, so it's going to be a change of pace for Logical Sports from driving a prototype to jumping in a GT car. GT cars on iRacing and Project Cars 2, completely different beasts. So it is going to be a massive challenge for these guys. It's certainly been a very long day, or will be a very long day for these guys. Just ticking off the minutes, 8 to go. Dark Racing 40 still in complete control of this race. Stretch that lead out to 40 seconds now. So it just keeps going and going and going. Sirius is still closing up on Dado, not by much. Just don't think it's going to be enough. They've probably got 2, 3, maybe 3 more laps. Depends on where the leader is, but I'm expecting probably only 2. And the gap is still sitting at around that. It's around about 7 seconds. But this is almost the hardest part. You're in that last 10 minutes. Your brain is absolutely fried. And you just got to keep pushing. As Woody Lizard makes his final splash and dash. Commander Sirius, he got himself a time penalty in that previous lap. So he's throwing caution to the wind, but that's going to hurt him. 2-second time penalty. So that's he's not good. That almost seals Dado as our 2022 Le Mans 2.4 hour GTE champion. On what is the 6th running of our Le Mans 24 hour for ANZCRL Combined Racing League. In 2017, our first ever running of this event, it was I'm Not the Best, taking his Audi R18 to the top step. Dark Racing 40 here on screen. He was the LMP2 champion, driving the LMP2 Orica Nissan. 2018, which was the first on Project Cars 2, I believe. As my headset just decided to turn off then, as I was starting to introduce it. It was Dominator who had a brief appearance in the league, dominated the races he came in. He won pretty comfortably in the Audi R18 with Fish Racing and Dark Racing 40 again on screen. They were the LMP2 leaders. So it was Dark Racing 40, 2 race wins in a row. The first one in the Orica Nissan, the second running he was in the Ligier JS P2 Honda. In 2019, Dark Racing 40 made the switch to LMPH, but it was Shads and Uncrewed Squid who took the victory over Dark Racing 40, who was second, and myself, I finished third. It was Toyota first, Audi second, Porsche third. 2019 was the first year that the GTE class contested this race, and it was a speed racer who took the spoils there in the Chevy Corvette, one that Matty Seeking is currently driving to place third position. 2020, Dark Racing, he had 2 wins, then a second, and he went bang. First of 2 in a row for the overall win, partnering with myself in the Audi R18. And it was this man currently leading the GTE class, Dado Racer, who took the spoils in the GTE class, partnering this man Metal Drive. He's had a tough race and battled to get himself up into 4th place. 14 seconds ahead of Dark Lord at the moment. If he keeps it clean, he'll hang on for that 4th position. But then last year, Dark Racing 40 decided to give the Porsche a run. He also, and he won with, again with me as co-driver in the Porsche. So all of a sudden, it was Audi one year, Porsche the next for Darky. That was his 2nd win in a row. Commander Cirrus in Illogical Sports. They were GTA champions. Illogical Sports this year jumped up into the prototype class. He just could not match Dark Racing 40 Mr. Experience. As all past 3 cars now have time penalties. As Dark Racing 40, he started the final lap. And it will be the final lap for all the classes. What a run it has been. There's Dark Lord. Let's have a look at time penalties. Dark Racing, 2 seconds. Woody Lizard, 8 seconds. Solid Science has got 1 second of time penalties. Commander Cirrus, 2 seconds. Matty Seeking, 5 seconds. Dark Lord's got 8 seconds of time penalties, but the car behind him, Night Havoc, he has 10 seconds of time penalties. Commander Jim has 31 seconds of time penalties. Well, it really has been a horror race for Commander Jim. We're now on the run to the Mulsanne corner for the very last time. The two class leaders head the way. Dark Racing 40 into Mulsanne first, and now it's Dado. He's put another lap on Dark Lord. Into Mulsanne he goes for the final time in this race. It's been a race of super consistency for the flu-ridden man. But he's been able to hang on. The fast charging Cirrus behind. Cirrus has actually made a mistake. He's dropped back to 16 seconds behind. But at the end of the day, starting from last just proved to be too much of a task for Mr. Commander Cirrus. And now's the point, he just has to carry this car home for a 2nd place finish, which is still a very good result, but he'd be spewing not to get another win. Logical Sports was hoping he could get up on top in this one to get himself one step closer to earning the Triple Crown. But Dark Racing 40, he said no, 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 not today, son. Not when I am the master of Le Mans. Form finish for the Toyotas. Dark Racing, that's 3 in a row. 1 in each manufacturer. And that's the win for Dark Racing 40. And now the winner of the GTE class. He won it in 2020, he's won it again. It's 2 race Le Mans 24-hour wins now for Mr. Dado Racer. Commander Cirrus. Valiant effort for him. He'll come home in 2nd, as will this man, Logical Sports. The crashes of Cruelty's race. But in the end, it's 2nd place for him. It's 2nd place for his teammate, Commander Cirrus. And now Matty Seeking, he crosses the line. He's a 3rd place finisher. Very strong result for him. And now we've got the race winner of Dark Racing 40. So Mr. Dark Racing, 3 in a row, 3 different manufacturers. What a ripper drive. Wow, he certainly had the upper end early on, especially with that overtake right at the end of that first stint. But yeah, that crash just seemed to be smooth sailing from there. Well, maybe try to win the GTE class for the first time. Well, well, that's all. Yeah, all your starts in Le Mans, your worst result is a second position. And yeah, let Woody cross the line ahead of us. He had to do another lap. Yeah. Well, Dado, you won in 2020, and now you're back again, winner today. Oh, you don't have to tick anything. Yep. Wow. It's like the Michael Jordan flu game where you just overcome all the odds. Yeah, they held off a fast charging Commander Cirrus, but crucially you were mistake free throughout that whole race, which has got you over the top. Yeah, I did actually catch the end of that at the first chicane. You must have just locked the rears. Yeah, well that's the way to win here. So there, yeah, he's only 3/10 off his lap record, but yeah, yeah, he had speed, but I reckon that second last pit stop he should have still put on the 4 tyres because he might have challenged a bit better. Yeah. Well, there we go. Yeah. Well, that's the race done and dusted. That was the interviews with your race winners. Tune in 2 weeks' time at twitch.tv/ANZCRL as we kick off the European leg of the Ferrari 488 Challenge. So until then, we'll see you later.